Let me tell you, picking just one ugly car to represent an entire decade is like choosing your least favorite Tesla. There is so much to choose from. But hey, I did the dirty work. So get ready. From the 50s to the 2020s, these are the biggest design war crimes to ever roll off a factory floor. Now, the 50s brought us some beautiful designs, like the sleek iconic C1 Corvette and the jaw-droppingly gorgeous Mercedes 300 SL. These cars were all about style, grace, and a sprinkle of class. And then there is the Ford Edsel, with its modern equivalent being the BMW M3, with its beaver-like grille, completely not fitting the 50s. And to make matters worse, it is named after Henry Ford's son, Edsel Ford, which is like, hey, let's make the ugliest car of the decade and let it bear my son's name. Thank you, Dad, I guess. Alright, let's talk about the 60s now, with the Zeta Sports, an Australian microcar that looks like it was designed by a child. I mean, seriously, this was a real production car with an engine, plastic body panels, and absolutely no doors. You just jumped right in, which I actually kind of like. And a sales record so bad that only 48 were made, and half of the people that bought them probably regretted buying one. So to sum it up, it was an utter failure, and it still looked worse than a kid's toy you would find in a Happy Meal. Next up, the 70s with a French car. So you already know it has to get weird, because the Citroen AMI, but not the AMI you're thinking about, but instead this, the AMI 6, that was nor fast nor luxurious, but at least it wasn't pretty either, which was also the first car with non-round rectangular headlights, which is also a cool fact for you. And interestingly though, people absolutely adored the AMI 6 and later the AMI 8, making it Citroen's most produced car with almost 2 million units sold. Moving on to the 80s with the Aston Martin Lagonda. Actually, I would go as far as saying that this is the ugliest Aston Martin ever made, and it's saying quite a lot, as at the time this was basically the most expensive luxury sedan in the world that was supposed to be as technologically advanced as possible, and it also happens to be hand built, and I don't really doubt it, as it looks like it was carved out of stone with disregard for any proportion. And if you like random facts, then it was also the first car with a digital instrument panel that unsurprisingly was very unreliable and cost a kidney to replace. For the 90s, the choice is obvious, because in 1998 the Fiat Multipla was released, and this car shocked the world, and it was even displayed at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. But beneath that bizarre exterior with the now iconic levels of lights that could fit 6 people, but still, for its size, it was incredibly practical, and despite its looks, people praised it. And by people I just mean the owners, because let's be real, it had a face only a mother could love. And now early 2000s. That could have been easy with the Pontiac Aztek, but I don't think it deserves all the hate. After all, it was the first crossover, and in a way, every car kind of looks like an Aztek nowadays with the amount of crossovers being sold. Instead, I'm going with the BMW E46 Compact. I saw one of those recently and I couldn't fathom how badly out of proportion it is. Somehow, both the back and the front are equally as bad. So if you think that BMW just started making terrible designs recently, think again. They're always having bad designs, like the X6 or the 5 Series GT. Now we roll onto the 2010s with the Nissan Murano CrossCabriolet, and I can already imagine the meeting that took place for this car. That went like this: let's take the most impractical body style, a convertible, and combine it with an SUV, which is supposed to be all about practicality. And then everybody at Nissan clapped and agreed how great of an idea it is. And the result? A car that is good at neither. It doesn't look good, and it's not practical in the slightest, struggling to appeal to pretty much anyone with an eyesight. So the CrossCabriolet was cancelled just after 4 years of production, finishing the 2020s with the Tesla Cybertruck that took design inspiration of a trash can, a car so out of shape that it's banned in Europe due to being too dangerous and having more quality issues than a body kit from Alibaba, with parts flying off on the highway and the accelerator getting stuck, and yet people are still lining up to buy it, because when you're rich, you'll buy anything, even a $100,000 garbage can on wheels.